Hello, welcome back to the third episode of the Extra Casual podcast with sick Ashton and
Healthy Gavin for right now.
fuck off. This one's gonna be kind of short today because I can barely talk, and when I do talk, it just does not feel good in any way at all.
Spring allergies are hitting. It's gonna. Don't worry, man. It's gonna hit me real hard real soon.
I can't wait until next week. It's just gonna be you're sick and I'm normal.
Who knows?
But yeah, the episode's probably gonna be around. The least it would be is 30, which I highly doubt, and probably like 40 to 50.
Yeah, I believe that we could definitely go the distance.
Yeah, we only have 3 topics today, though.
Yeah. Although we were talking earlier that if Ashton is feeling up to it, we will do the fourth topic that we have lined up.
Yep, so this might just be completely irrelevant talk.
Alright, well, let's roll into our first topic, and this is a big one. So, the energy drink brand Monster, everyone's probably heard of it, let's be real. They're going after game companies for using the word monster in them, and right now their current targets are Capcom and Nintendo. I will be reading from an article. The popular energy drink company Monster Energy went after the Pokemon Company and Capcom over their use of the word monster. Capcom uses it in popular open-world RPG game Monster Hunter, whereas Pokemon has the term monster hidden in its own branding. The term Pokemon stands for pocket monsters. This bizarre legal battle ended up shortly after this start. Thankfully, this bizarre did not take much time and resources. I think the person didn't really fact check this because it just says bizarre. I think it's supposed to say bizarre case, but whatever. Anyway, the Monster Energy dispute was filed in Japan, but the court did not take much time to judge and vanquish it. The company has issued complaints for the user of its monster trademark on different progress. In fact, the energy drink maker seems to be on a quest to prevent anyone from using the word. In fact, it filed over 100 complaints in Japan of all sorts of companies and brands that have been using the word monster in some way. Yeah, another company did this. Takes-Two Entertainment, the parent company to Rockstar. Mm-hmm. They went after a indie game called It Takes Two because, the name. And the court was actually here in the States, but the court ruled that they could basically not copyright a word, and the game It Takes Two had no real issues.
Yeah, that reminds me of back when I don't remember what exact dance it was, but in Fortnite somebody was trying to sue Epic over like a dance move, and I'm pretty sure the court ruled in you can. I'm not sure what side, but the conclusion was basically you can if it's an iconic dance I don't know, let's just say the Cupid Shuffle. It has the same movement every single time, and it's not like you're just randomly, doing a random movement for 5 seconds and then, continuing. It has to be more of, a strict thing.
Yeah.
Not just, a basic word that was invented before Monster Energy drink existed.
Yeah, or a phrase before It Takes Two Entertainment existed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So the oldest one that they're suing that I know of is Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure Pokemon came before Monster.
Pokemon was early 80s, right?
Fact check time. 1998.
Okay, yeah, alright, so that's 98. When was Monster Energy created?
To April 2002.
Yeah, so 4-year difference. So, Pokemon was there first, so you know.
Well, that I'm pretty sure the games were trading cards out before the first Pokemon game, or was it the first Pokemon game then the trading cards?
Yeah. I think the games came first, and it's 96, not 98, so it'd be a 6-year difference. My mistake.
This is just another case of companies trying to like have absurd like filing and like lawsuits.
Yeah. To those unaware, alright, we're going back to the article. To those unaware, a few years ago, Ubisoft announced its Greek mythology game dubbed Gods and Monsters. However, the game was rebranded to Immortals Phoenix Rising, excuse me. A few years after the announcement, Ubisoft stated that this was a creative decision. However, it seems to have been moved by another lawsuit filed by Monster Energy. Apparently, Ubisoft did not want to go through the stress and rebranded its game prior to launch. Still, this is super bizarre. I agree.
I didn't even know that was the other name for it.
Yeah, I guess maybe because Monster won that one time, it's thinking it can keep on getting away with it. But now that companies are actually starting to, try and fight back,
it's not really helping them.
Yeah, you can't copyright a word. Like, if some random game company literally made a game called Monster Energy, and it was a game where you run around as a Monster Energy drink, doing Monster Energy drink things.
That'd be funny if that was the only game that didn't get sued.
That'd be hilarious.
They just give that one the pass.
Yeah, someone should do that. Yeah. Anyway, unless it's that very specific thing, they have no real legal grounds to stand on.
Yeah, it's not like the word that they're using for monster is like a rewording of the word monster. Like if it was spelt differently, then they could probably patent like that spelling of it.
I remember they targeted another game because it had monster in the title, and they tried to say it's because the monster was very the monster in the logo or the box art or whatever was very similar to the the monster on monster cans, which I didn't really see. I think they're just really trying to stretch to try and win something, but I don't know.
It has lines in it. It's the monster logo.
I mean, I guess to kind of reinforce how stupid this is, it's like me trying to copyright the name Gavin. If you name your kid Gavin, you're gonna have to pay me a fuck ton of money.
You owe me a shit ton of money.
And also you're gonna have to change your kid's name, but after I get all the money.
Still has to pay though.
Yeah. Basically, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah. I think we squeezed out this topic. I'm reading the rest of the article and just just stuff about how Monster's probably just gonna kind of try to keep doing this, and it might get one or two people, or companies, but maybe no one else. Yeah. I think that's a wrap for this one.
Alright. Okay, this article caught my eye. I haven't read into it yet, and I don't think Evan has either.
Nope.
As soon as I posted it in to ask if we should put it on, Gavin said it's a definite yes. Let me quote you on this real quick. You said, "That's a thumbs up for me."
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see this. So the article for this one is schools have banned musical chairs for the wildest reasons.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's get into the article. Musical chairs, the most classic and innocent childhood games. Just the name is enough to fill me with the sweetest nostalgia. Birthday parties, recess, alphabet, carpets, weekends. Group of excited kids gather around a ring of chairs with one chair less than the number of players. Then the music starts. Okay, if you don't know how to play musical chairs, then
there's something wrong with your childhood.
I don't know if you're able to access anything. They might be manually breathing their whole entire life. Okay, back to the article. The children walk around the chairs, smirking and smiling in anticipation until the music stops. Each child dives to the nearest chair, and the unlucky one who didn't get a chair is out. One more chair is removed, and the next round begins. This is just kind of describing... Okay, finally it actually gets to why they're banning it. But this woman of childhood play is one of the many victims of this century's helicopter parenting and special snowflake culture.
Sounds about right.
Okay, I think I know where this is going. Schools have banned musical chairs for the wildest reason. Why? According to Christina Hoff Sommers, a physiology professor and author of How the Helping Culture is Eroding Self-Reliance, is because it hurts to be left out. It's competitive. It's better for kids to just meditate and relax. It focuses on eliminating the weakest link, which is damaging to kids' self-esteem. Yep, I think I knew where this was going as soon as I read it.
Man, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Like, I think it's a very important thing for kids to know when they've lost. And I mean, yes, it does hurt to be left out, but it feels like kids need to know that, you know, like, there's situations in life that you know you can't do anything.
Yeah,
and like,
it teaches you your limits. Like, maybe you weren't good at musical chairs that time, or like maybe you weren't good at like a sport, but you can always improve on like getting better at playing basketball, or maybe getting better at having a faster like time to react for musical chairs or something like that.
Let's see. It's competitive. It's better for kids just to meditate and relax. What? I mean, competitive spirit is what drives a lot of people to do really great or really stupid things. Like, I guess, for example, like, you know, football. Like, just good old-fashioned football. If those players were kids once upon a time, and, you know, don't you think they had a competitive spirit, or they had the good taste of competition when they were a kid, you know, in recess or gym class, or just, you know, playing football with their friends, you know, just to see who's the best?
Mm-hmm. I remember when I was younger, I'd always try to, like, recess and stuff, I'd always try to, like, everyone would try to be the best and, like, show off, like, oh, look at me, I can run faster. Do you remember those kids, Kevin?
Yeah, and that's how you got a girlfriend back in those days, because
girlfriend.
Yeah, the elementary school girlfriend.
By showing her how fast you can run.
Yeah. Like, I'm a pretty competitive person sometimes. Like, I do really try to keep it under wraps and understand that it's not really that important. But when I was younger, I was a very sore loser. And my family has stories of how sore of a loser I was, which I'm never gonna tell people. I'm keeping that till the grave, my brother.
Yeah, but sometimes it's, even if it's not like competitive towards like showing that you're actually competitive, it's just nice to like set goals for yourself that could seem competitive.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
maybe you're playing basketball and you're like, at least during this whole entire game, I at least want to get like 3 3-pointers.
Yeah.
Like, it's just good to set like challenges for yourself, so then you can feel rewarded for if you do it, and you can feel like motivated to do more if you didn't do it.
Yeah. Let's see. It focuses on eliminating the weakest link, which is damaging to kids' self-esteems. Well, this kind of goes back to the first point. Sometimes kids just need to know when they're beat. And, you know, just need to know when to, you know, call it, like I said, and just know when to give it another try. It feels like I just contradicted myself, but whatever.
Yeah. This one's kind of confusing, like, which is damaging to kids' self-esteem. Okay, when I was in 4th grade, or whatever age you commonly play musical chairs at, I wasn't sitting there like, damn, I just got kicked out. My self-esteem is going to be awful now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no young kid thinks of that. They're probably just waiting for the next round to start so then they can play again.
So that I was waiting for. Like, I don't really think kids would think less of themselves for not winning at a game of musical chairs. Kids would think less from themselves if their parents told them they weren't good enough, or their teacher says that they're just not a good student, even though they might be trying as hard as they can, or something like that.
And another thing is, this is kind of like adults are trying to think for the kids. Like, they probably, whoever was saying that they should get rid of this, like musical chairs, they probably didn't ask kids how they feel about musical chairs. They're probably just putting like labels of how adults would feel if they lost musical chairs. Yeah,
well, in this case, how adults think kids would feel. Like, they're trying to put themselves in their kids' shoes, And I think this goes back to the whole helicopter parenting thing, where to them their kid needs to be a winner, and if they don't win, then they're a winner anyway, because why not? And their kid has to be coddled and protected and stuff like that.
Well, that's just a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Because if you coddle your kids too much, then it leads to like the entitled people that you see on YouTube videos of them getting pulled over by the police, and they're like, no, but I shouldn't get in trouble, should I? It's like, I'm sorry, but the law still affects you.
Yeah.
That's something that can happen often if kids are coddled and like never punished.
Yeah. That, or their kid rebels in very, very dangerous ways. I'm talking like drugs, get involved in some game.
Things.
Yeah, it's pretty cliche, but it probably still very much does ring true.
Playing M-rated video games when they're 15.
Oh boy, guilty as charged, am I right?
Greatest crime of all time.
According to those parents, definitely. The thing is that like the same thing will apply to lack of parenting. It needs to be a very stable balance where there's enough discipline, to teach your kid what's right and what's wrong, but enough distance so that they can experience childhood for themselves. And
they can think about their own actions and start to just understand it more.
Yeah. I'd say my parents did a pretty good job for me. I'm not around doing, dumb shit or anything like that.
Dumb shit.
Yeah, dumb shit, that's for shit.
You're not stealing any cars and driving them around and uploading them on TikTok. Hint to last episode.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hop back into the article.
Yep.
Okay. There's a ridiculously long list of ridiculous reasons for schools to ban musical chairs, as well as traditional childhood games like Red Rover, tag, snowball fights, and even Duck Duck Goose.
Wait a minute. So this article makes it sound like that schools all over America have banned Red Rover, tag, snowball fights, and Duck Duck Goose.
Well,
all right. There you go. Okay. All right. So, I mean, snowball fights I kind of get, because there's always going to be that one kid that loads up a rock and it hits someone square in the face.
I remember in elementary we would have our own factions outside, and then we would hide we wouldn't throw the chunks of ice, but we'd find nice chunks of ice and we'd hide them from the other teams.
Dude, I remember that. The worst part about it,
we'd make forts and everything too.
Yeah, I remember I made a fort. I just remember a big old hunk of packed snow. I thought, hey, this would make a pretty good backboard. So I started building it up. Next day, some kids took it over, and I couldn't convince them that it was mine. Yeah, so I
didn't see your name written on it.
Yeah, I tried stealing from them. Their excuse was, oh, one of the older kids from recess gave it to us, so it's ours now. Yeah. Let's just say I felt, like I said, I was very pissed that I got my fort stolen from me, and I couldn't do anything about it.
See, and you probably didn't feel like your self-esteem was lowered from that.
No, I felt spiteful, so I tried stealing from them. It didn't really work.
Did you feel hurt that you were left out?
No, I found other people.
Did it focus on eliminating the weakest link, Evan?
Oh, the only one who was eliminated was me. I was both the weakest and the strongest link. Doesn't matter.
But see, did you think of these things when you were a child?
No, of course not.
Why
this
not?
This is like, what, 3rd grade?
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I was just pissed off I didn't get my fort.
I'm just imagining. I don't even think I knew you back then, but
yeah, we didn't meet till like 7th grade, I want to say.
Yeah, but I just imagine like young you, just like you're just like sitting on like the curb where like kids are just running around by like the recess area, just sitting there like mad because some kid stole your fort.
Yeah, I remember I went over to like some other kids that like I kind of knew. And, I tried to help them out with building their forts. Yeah. But I think one of my favorite elementary school memories is like during the summer, every day during recess, we just play like freeze tag or cops and robbers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so fun. Like, I wasn't really that fast. Like, maybe people wouldn't even realize I'm playing or not, but, it was still fun.
Yeah, just like constantly having to look out for kids and everything.
Yeah. Although you go.
Do you remember when they banned running on the big toy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we should probably emphasize what the big toy means.
Yeah. So, like those big, like, pieces of, like, playground equipment with, like, the slides and, like, tubes and whatnot? Yeah, it was that, but it was, like, I'd say, like, a story and a half tall.
Yeah, so we had probably a newer version, which was, like, it was called the big toy. And then there was one beside it, which was, like, a smaller one, like...
Yeah, it was smaller,
there was
but longer.
no, like, double layers or anything.
Yeah, that was called the little toy.
Mm-hmm. But I think it was in 4th grade, they finally allowed kids to run on the big toy.
Yeah, and I think it was the same year that they allowed people on the big toy during winter, because every other year they kept it closed down.
Some of those rules are just so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it's so kids don't hurt themselves, but kids are basically bulletproof.
I remember when I was younger, so there'd be like a bunch of teachers around, watching the kids to make sure they wouldn't run on it. Mm-hmm. I just remember like sneakily like fast walking, because they'd even yell at you for doing that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered something. So
unlocked a memory.
Yeah, dude. So there's this one time where apparently some like teacher wanted to talk to me, and like there's these two kids like they basically become the punching bags of of now times high school. Like, well, sometimes like.
Okay, how about you say the first letter of their name so I could guess.
J and N.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, punching bag might be a bit of a mean term, even for, like, our high school. Because, I guess for sake of reference, we don't really... There's, like, no real bullying within our grade. We just kind of agree that we all hate each other, but we'll agree to get along.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Yeah. Like, if someone asks you for something, be nice, help them out if you can, and just be honest if you can't. Anyway, So basically they spent like most of recess trying to hunt me down, so they would have the teacher talk to me. So yeah, I went down a slide. I need to adjust my shoes because they're becoming untied. One grabbed me from the back. I stood up immediately and hit him in the face, and I just started like running away.
You started crying at a young age.
Listen, man, that was an accident, and technically he did it to himself.
Oh, I have a memory. I don't know if I should say it, but I think I'm going to say it.
Alright, what is it?
This is kind of an embarrassing one. Nobody would ever remember it.
Yeah.
But in like 3rd or 4th grade, so I don't know who did it. I'm not saying like... Actually, I don't know who I would even blame for this, but I was going down like a tubed slide, and as I was going down the tube slide, I get out, and there's shit all the way down my pants.
Oh, God.
And I like walked up to a teacher, and the teacher's like, and I was like, yeah. And then we walked inside. As I'm walking, there's just kids looking at me as there's fucking shit on my pants, on like my jeans.
Yeah.
I don't even know who did it. I just went down a slide like you're supposed to.
Man, that just... You know what? I'm going to stop myself right there because I was going to get into some real personal embarrassment kind of stuff. And that's another thing I'm going to take to the grave. Like, extremely embarrassing school stories.
Well, I just mentioned the shit slide because I don't think nobody's gonna make fun of me now for it.
Yeah. And you didn't shit yourself, so...
No, I just went down a slide and there was shit on it.
Yeah. Let's see.
We kind of went so far off topic that this topic isn't even relevant anymore. Oh, speaking of like Red Rover, tag, snowball fights, and all that, I don't remember the last time I've even seen like anybody even play these games. So like the teachers be like, "Okay, let's all go play tag."
Yeah. Actually, I do remember the last time I played tag. It was last year during Phi-Ed class, and for warm up, some of the kids asked if we could play tag, and the teacher allowed it.
That does remind me of like what's that one game where you have like that little belt that you put around yourself, and you have like the strips that you have to pull?
Oh yeah, those belts they use for like capture the flag, basically.
Oh yeah, capture the flag.
Oh, yeah. I just got unlocked another memory.
The memory unlocking episode.
Yeah, that's what we should call this one. So I remember we were playing like a variant of capture the flag. Like our school, we have like different things like capture the ring or capture like the foxtail or football or something like that. Like they're all basically the same thing, but they have slight deviations to keep them fresh. I was wearing like a proper belt that day, and someone tried to get me out by pulling the flag off the belt, but they pulled my actual belt, and I just kept running.
You probably felt so cheated.
Yeah, they probably did, but I didn't. Yeah, and I crashed back to like our side, which was the safe side. It's like, can I have my belt back? Yeah, I've lost shoes while playing that game. They
fully pulled your belt off.
Yeah, like the actual belt that I was wearing to keep up my pants. Fortunately, they didn't fall down.
That's kind of impressive, though.
Yeah.
They pulled off your belt, but they didn't pull off the thing that's easier to rip off and would have fallen off. Or would have most likely fallen off if they pulled off your belt.
Yeah, a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a clamp.
Yeah.
It's literally just like a belt, but instead of like, looping it back around like a normal belt, it's just like a chip bag clamp, basically.
Yeah. And I just remember like 7th grade whenever we play those things. Like, I would like take it to the next level. Like, whenever playing it, I would like roll over like specific points so it'd be harder for people to get me. And going back to the tag thing in last year, when we were playing, I had a friend in there. I even told him, man, I'm gonna Dark Souls the shit out of this. And every time someone tried to get me, I just roll out of the way.
This is gonna sound old for what I'm about to say, but it's kind of fun back in the older days where you could just like roll and constantly like throw yourself on the ground and like beat yourself up, and you just don't feel any of the repercussions from it. Yeah. Now we feel it like a gunshot
for weeks. Yeah, like I'm telling you, like kids when it comes to like physical injury, in terms of like sports, they're unkillable. Like you could tackle them into a wall, and they could treat it like it never happened.
Something I heard, which I don't know if this is true or not, but the reason that kids are more like indestructible is because the ones like their bones are still growing and like developing, so like they're constantly growing and changing.
Mm-hmm.
And then two is they're a lot smaller, so the density of your skin is thicker, I think, because it isn't like stretched out for your fully grown body yet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I don't know if that's true, so don't fact check me on that. But it makes sense in my head, so.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense,
Hey.
The fact that you're growing would basically allow you to regenerate faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of wild to think about that. Humans, like, whenever they get hurt and they heal, it's technically regenerating.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure it's 5 years. Like every 5 years, all like your skin, like basically sheds or like renews itself.
Huh.
So like technically, like if somebody were to touch you on your hand and then like 5 years later, that wouldn't be the same skin that they touched. It would be a different like whole set of like
Yeah, new skin cells.
Yeah, skin cells, not complete skin.
That's freaky, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Also, another fun fact about the human body, like every 3 months, I want to say, your skeleton cleans itself.
Huh?
Yep, you heard it right. Your skeleton just straight up cleans itself, and
How?
it's I don't know, like probably some help with from
process.
body process, maybe some help from some friendly red/white blood cells. Who knows?
That's pretty interesting.
Okay, is there
I was
anything?
just quickly glancing over this. Where is it? Right here. Because psychology research proves, or this is back to the article, because psychology research proves that competition, both winning and losing, teaches your child important social skills, such as problem solving, negotiation, communication, teamwork, collaboration, two of the hottest words in education right now.
Teamwork and collaboration sounds about right.
But yeah, back quickly ending like a quick change to the next topic. It is like extremely important for your kids to get
Yeah.
like to learn these things before it's too late.
Yeah.
Sitting on their iPads all day and like constantly scrolling on TikTok is not
healthy.
It might be good for the moment for them, but it's not going to be like a long-term gain for them.
It's like a snack. You eat it to feel good in the moment, but you keep on eating those snacks long term, you're not going to last much. Well, not much longer, but very long.
Yeah. Whereas like you eat a meal, like you go play football for an hour, you'll feel it, or like at least feel accomplished or happier than just like scrolling on TikTok for an hour. But we are going to go into, this is your topic, right?
Yeah, this one. How are you feeling? You think you could go for one more, or?
Do you want? I guess we can do one more. Just scrap what I said at the start.
Looks like this is our third topic tonight. So this is another article, which is woman refuses to end her 20-year-long Disney vacation. The worst part of visiting Walt Disney World is having to leave the Disney bubble and return to reality at the end of your trip. Even though most Disney trips are action-packed and exhausting, it is still hard to leave the theme park and go back to normal life. Some Disney guests love the park so much that they even move to Anaheim or Central Florida because they want to be close to Disney at all times. Still, there's nothing that compares to an on-property Disney vacation. This brings up an interesting question. If money was no object, how long could you vacation at Walt Disney World Resort? For one woman, her Disney vacation lasted for over 20 years. I'm trying to read this a little bit more slowly, so hopefully people could understand me a little bit better.
Yeah.
Vacationing at Walt Disney World is not cheap. Park tickets, food, merchandise, and accommodations all cost a lot of Disney property. Walt Disney World Resort has a lot of different hotels to choose from when planning a trip. There are 3 tiers of Disney resorts: Hotel at Walt Disney World, Value, Moderate, and Deluxe. Even at Value Disney Resort, the rooms are not cheap and will run you hundreds of dollars a night. If you're trying to stay at Walt Disney World Resort for an extended period of time, you might be interested in staying at the cheapest accommodation on property, Fort Wilderness. Here you can rent a tent campsite for $76 to $105, or an RV site for around $150 to $250.
I'm assuming that's per night.
Yeah, definitely
It doesn't really say.
Nah, man, it's per year.
Per hour.
Oh, man, that's even worse. While these prices are still expensive, some Disney fans do pay the premium to stay on property for an extended amount of time. Have you ever gone to any Disney place?
Okay, so there's... I don't think I've been... Wait, where are the locations?
There's Disneyland in California and Disney World in Florida.
Oh, Disneyland in California, I've been to that one, and it is extremely fun.
I went to Disney World a while ago, and it was alright, but probably didn't help that, also the same week, we also went to Universal Studios, which is a lot better, I might add. Anyway, technically the longest you can book a room or campsite for is 30 days. However, one woman continued staying her camping vacation and lived at Walt Disney World Resort full time. A Reddit user shared the story of this woman, which is now deleted.
Deleted, removed. 0 upvotes, 40 replies.
Well, let's go. Anyway, according to the commenter, the woman has lived at the Fort Wilderness campground on Walt Disney World property for nearly 20 years. She even went as far as try to sue the Walt Disney Company when they tried to kick her out during the COVID pandemic. Another commenter followed up the story with an update that woman has been evicted from Fort Wilderness Resort and is also no longer a travel agent. This one was a travel agent? That's interesting.
Wait, how do you be a travel agent and somehow manage to stay there for 20 years?
I don't know. Work from home?
I'm assuming, all the workers around that area just became friends with her.
Yeah, probably.
They're just oh, it's just Sue, she's been here for 20 years.
Yeah.
I bet you when she got kicked out, people are sad that she had to leave.
And had a standing ovation, a Last Supper of biblical proportions.
Because they all the workers probably got attached to her.
Yeah, probably.
Most of the people that those workers talk to, they will never see again, or they'll forget about.
Yeah, that or they're gonna be happy to be done with their nonsense.
Yeah, if they were a crazy person.
Yeah, or over obsessive. I don't really know what else to say. This is very self-explanatory.
Woman didn't want to leave.
Yeah, she didn't want to.
She stayed there for 20 years.
I guess as a bit of a question of if you could stay overnight or even for a week at some sort of park Disney or Universal, where would you go and why?
I'm just gonna pick one because it's on the top of my head and I knew you'd probably pick the same.
All right.
But I'm trying to find something not Universal Studios or Disney World or Land.
Yeah.
It would probably be Alcatraz, but that's not really a a park or a. Well, I guess it is a.
It's an attraction, all right, but
yeah.
Not necessarily a park.
Sleeping in a prison cell for a week.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But how would you get food? Unless they would serve you the same thing that they would serve prisoners, which is mush, which doesn't sound fun.
You could probably scavenge for better food than what they would serve the prisoners.
Yeah. I still think it'd be fun that, maybe once a year for a few days, there was like a big airsoft event at Alcatraz.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I've always wanted to get into airsofting, but I never had the budget for it.
Yeah. My dad used to be in airsofting.
That's
I don't
cool.
really know what happened other than that. Where would you be for a week?
For me, I don't know. Like, I guess if I'm gonna choose like somewhere basic, might as well have it be somewhere out of the country. So I would want to go to Universal Studios in Japan, just to taste the some foreign flavors, quote unquote.
Ooh. Speaking of Japan, this brings me to another question that we could do.
All right.
What is... you can go and then I'll go after because I already know what I'm going to say. What is your dream like place that you'd want to go? Like it's on your bucket list that you have to see.
I think I want to go to Berlin, in Germany.
What is that?
Oh no, just a very rich culture, and I guess I also want to see a lot of their like World War II stuff. Like I want to see the place where they burned all those books. I want to see the German Holocaust Museum. I want to see, just a lot of stuff from their history that, maybe they don't want to expose, but they know they have no real choice to.
Yeah, just to see, like, historical past.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, that's why we learn history, right? So we don't repeat it.
My dream place that I know I'm definitely going to see once in person is Mount Fiji. I don't know why, but I just want to see Mount Fiji in person.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a sight to see?
It's like, besides like just going to see Mount Fiji, it would just be nice to be. Mount Fiji's in Japan, right?
Yeah.
It would just be nice to be in that culture for like a week.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's a very like distinct change.
Yeah, it looks like both of us have a cultural reason. And so is it Fuji or Fiji? I forget.
People say both.
Whatever works.
Fiji makes more sense in my head.
But isn't Fiji an island, like somewhere in the Pacific?
Let me look this up. Fiji Island.
Yeah, Fiji Island. Well, looks like it is Fuji, not Fiji. Oh well, whatever.
But it'd just be cool to like get a picture of me. If I were to ever go to Japan for a week, I would try to take as much like nice quality pictures or like aesthetic pictures.
Yeah.
Just so I could look back on them in like a couple of years.
Yeah. Who knows if it's during the season where, I head off to Germany, like maybe I could attend an Oktoberfest. Yeah. I think this is everything for this topic, right?
This topic's dead.
Yeah. Alright, now time for your last one. Take it away.
My last topic. Walmart removes offensive t-shirt from stores. Quote, not intentional. A t-shirt for sale at Walmart gained viral attention after one customer pointed out a rude mishap in the design. Twitter user at Who's Your Daddy Now shared a picture of a green t-shirt at Walmart that features a recycling positive phrase with the letters RE in a large font. The other side features 3 endings including cycle, use, new, and think. If you read the start of those, I think you'll know where this is going.
Yeah.
But the placement of the words raised some eyebrows as customers realized that the t-shirt had inadvertently spelled out a rude word. A spokesperson for Walmart told Newsweek, "This was not intentional and the t-shirt has been removed for context. This item was only available in Canada." Dang it. I wanted to be repping the shirt. The t-shirt was on sale for $5. Wow. And is part of a George fashion label that has been owned by Walmart since 1999. The brand is a huge success in the UK, where it is stocked in Asda supermarket stores, but is seen less in North America. This is a quote. I need to see the shirt before Walmart realizes what they've done. Find the hidden word. Wrote at Who's Your Daddy in a tweet that has since received over 1.3 million views and more than 14,000 likes. Okay, I highly recommend looking up this shirt. Like I described it, it's a big capital RE, and then it says cycle, use, new, think, which spells out cunt.
Yep.
That's nice. What does it say?
Cunt.
Cunt.
You gotta admit, no matter where you are on the spectrum of, unintentional profanity is hilarious versus unintentional profanity is, profane, it's pretty good.
Yeah, that reminds me of, like, the hidden messages and, like, texts. Is, like, some students would purposely, like, down the sentence of a paper, like, write something out to the teacher. It's like a secret aggression towards them, like, I hate this stupid assignment, and it's just, like, spell it down the first letter of each, like, sentence line.
Yeah.
Here, let me... Wow, these topics are kind of, like, extremely short.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to, like, do a quick length check on them.
Yeah. We could. Like, realistically, we should. But it feels like that also kind of takes away some of the authenticity of what we're doing, because, I mean, like we said in episode 1, we don't read these beforehand, and this, even though this maybe wouldn't really be, like, the equivalent of reading, but, it could, I guess not really seem as authentic, like I said. I don't know. I have to admit I'm kind of reaching for reasons.
Trying to reach for topics.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's just say I think a naughty word on a shirt is the least of most people's problems.
Well, another thing is, like, in schools, if you were to walk around with this shirt on, like, nobody would notice it until you pointed it out.
Yeah. I mean,
nobody's gonna, like, stand there and just look at your shirt and overanalyze it.
Yeah. I mean, at least in our school, I've seen a lot worse than this. Like, I think literally just yesterday I saw a guy walking around with a Playboy shirt, so,
Yeah.
You tell me, like, if I would get basically prosecuted for wearing that shirt.
I wonder, like, this shirt, I wonder if, like, somebody tried to sneak it through, like, for years they were trying to, like, sneak through a funny shirt, but, like, it was too obvious.
Yeah, probably. What do you think the funny shirt would have said?
It would I bet you, like, it was just this shirt, but, like, maybe they changed, like, the color of the C-U-N-N-T to, like, a different color. They're like, come on now, that's way too obvious.
Yeah, that just reminds me. I remember saying something a long time ago of, I guess failures and naming stuff, like, because of the acronym, is, like, spells out something really stupid. And one of them was a kindergarten, where it's, like, named after someone, and is, like, I don't remember the name, but basically the acronym spelled out KKK. And,
Oh.
everyone that lives here in America will understand why that's not good. And I'm pretty sure people that live outside of America will also understand why it's not good, depending on how much you know about American history. Let's see, there's a transportation company that owned a bunch of buses. They had a motto, which acronym was SCAT, like poop.
The subliminal meanings behind all the companies.
There's another one, like, it's like for housing, and I think it was like someplace in Mexico because I think it was Spanish, and the acronym spelled out shit. Failures in namings is funny.
I'm trying to think of some because this is a good topic. Just I can't think of anything that.
Yeah, like you really have to have cogs turning and just kind of be able to keep up the momentum.
Well, are we gonna call this one?
Yeah, we should probably call it.
I'm like half dozing off, half in pain.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think about either.
Hey,
like I was thinking maybe going into some more philosophy stuff, but I don't know. It just doesn't really fit for right now.
Yeah, we will definitely make a longer episode after this. We promise.
Yeah, next week, assuming everything goes to plan, we find some good topics, and Ashton's feeling good, and I'm feeling good, and whatnot.
No, we're just gonna transfer sicknesses back and forth for the rest of the podcast.
That doesn't sound good. Anyway, I guess I'll end this off. So, this has been episode 3 of the Extra Casual podcast. These have been your hosts, Gavin
And Ashton.
And we'll see you next week. Possibly.
Bye-bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye-bye.